Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about two important concepts: server-side pagination. Server-side pagination, pagination. So, what we mean by this is like, when we make any table here, let me show you something. If you check any table, okay. Let me check one system here I used. Let me just show you what I mean by server-side pagination. Yeah. Let me just choose anything here. So when I say server-side pagination, is basically what I mean is this one. See here, I'm clicking next and previous. You can see page 1, page 2. So this pagination is actually done by from the server side. Okay. So when I click next, it takes me to another page, right? Page 2, page 1. So these things are actually handled on the server side, and this is the row. Like I can select how many rows I want to view. Let's say this, I only want 5 rows, okay, or I want 10 rows or more, okay, based on what I want. So basically that's what we call server-side pagination. The reason we do it on the server side is because in production environment you have to use server-side pagination actually. So the core idea is pagination returns a small chunk of data instead of everything at once. Okay. So there are only two patterns that matter. Okay, the core idea is offset pagination, okay, and cursor pagination. Okay, offset pagination, this is skip and take, and cursor pagination is after this item. So just remember it this way, and we'll go into details. Okay, so offset pagination, the mental model is like skip n rows, then take m rows. Okay, so let's say let's check this one here. Is saying select all from users, order by ID. Okay, limit 20. Okay, limit means this is limits. When we say limit, but what we mean is rows, the number of rows you need to display. Like this is limits. Page size, okay, we can call it page size also. Offset 40. Okay, so so on the when you run this parameter, this on the API, it's actually going to look like this: API users, okay, question mark limit equals to 20 and offset. So this is the how it will look. Okay, we'll get into it later. So when to use offset pagination? When you're using an admin dashboard, small data sets, page numbers required, like 1, 2, 3, static, rarely changing data. Okay, but the one big problem if your offset pagination is if your offset becomes huge, like 50,000 plus, performance gets worse because the DB must still scan those rows before skipping them. Okay, so offset means just skipping. That's it. Okay, so use it for internal tools. Use it when you need page numbers, and avoid it for large feeds. So what you mean by here is like offset. Offset means just skipping. So when I click next page here, so basically it's skipping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Skipping 5. It's taking me this. So offset means skip. Okay, so I'm saying skip from the that's what we meant by offset. and cursor pagination. No, before moving on to cursor pagination, let's go ahead and try to do offset pagination to see it in practice, so you can see it. Okay, let's do it in practice. I will create an API from scratch. Actually, let's just create a new API. We prefer to use a new API here. Let me just create under API here. I'm just going to create here offset. No, let me just put it offset practice or offset, just name it, or make it under posts here. I want to put it under post because post actually is the right terminology, so this is something we don't need right now. Okay, so I will just put it under posts here. Okay, so let me go ahead here. I'm going to add export here, async function get, and I'm going to change this one to request dot next request, and I'm just going to open try catch block error. Yeah, so console dot error. Yeah, so let's move on here and go ahead and const search params, and then we are just going to put equal here request dot next URL. So just what I'm saying here is basically just search params just represents the parameters that we put on the URL, okay, as passed on the request URL. Okay, so here I'm just going to say the page. We need the page actually, and page, and it has to be number, so we have to make sure the page is number. Search params dot get, and I'm just going to choose here page, and yeah, okay. So const, I'm going to choose here limit equals, so I'm just going to get the parameter. The limit also has to be number, so I'm just going to choose here search params dot get, and limit. Okay, so yeah, limit can be 5 or whatever. Yeah, so const, and right for the time being we're just going to take a page and limit, and then I'm going to find skip here. Skip is equals to page minus 1 times limit. Okay, so basically this is very important, you have to keep it in your mind. So basically what I'm saying is skip means how many pages do I need to skip. Okay, like for example this is page 2, right? So if I want to go to page 2, okay, so 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, 1 times the limit is let's say the limit is 5, right? 1 times 5 is 5, so I have to skip 5 in order to reach to page 2. That's the idea, right? Let's say I want to go to page 3 here. This is page 3, right? So basically what I'm saying is in order to reach page 3, what I need to do is 3 minus 1, which will be 2, okay, times the limit, which is 5, right? 2 minus 5 is 10. So in order to reach to page 3, I have to skip 10 rows. You see? And that's correct, right? So this is 5 and this is 5, so 10. That's the idea of skipping. How many rows to skip? Okay. And const where here is equals to, I'm just going to define here where I'm going to say published is equals to false. The reason I'm saying this is because most of my data is actually not published on post, so I'm just defining define the filter and const, and I'm going to use here posts. I'm going to call it post, or you can call it whatever. This is where your data will be stored, and this is the total to count how many we are getting. So await prisma dot post dot find many. Okay, let me just import this one. Okay, find many, and yeah. So basically, I'm going to write here. No. Actually, I made a mistake here. I think it's actually supposed to be more than 2. I have to use promise here. The reason I'm using promise is because I have 2 queries. I want to run them parallelly at the same time. Okay, I'm going to have a query for prisma.find .posts find many, and I'm going to open here. Here I'm going to put where, and I'm going to put the order by. This is how order by created at and descending. So here what I'm saying is list the output in a descending order. So it will be the latest will be on the top. Okay, that's the idea, right? Descending. That's what it means. The latest data will be on the top. So from higher to lower. Okay, that's why I want this data to be ordered this way. And then I'm going to say skip post and then take. Okay, take will be limit. Okay, take means just this one, right? The limit, which is 5. Skip is this one. Is what we defined here. How many? So I'm telling it how many rows to skip, how to order the data, and the filter, which is we define the where, and the limit. That's it. The next step is inside promise all. I'm going to do await prisma dot count, dot posts dot count, and I'm going to type where here. You have to type comma here. The reason I did this is to get the total. How many actually data we have? What's the total count? And it will put it on total, and that is going to put it on post. So now let me return next response to JSON, and I'm going to call it data here, posts, okay, and I'm going to put here total, and I'm going to put here the page, and I'm going to put here total pages as well. Total pages, basically the formula for total page is math.c. The reason we use math.c is to round, to give us one number, not a decimal point. We will do total, the total minus limit. So the total number of rows. So here put comma. So actually this should that's it actually. Okay, this is offset pagination. You want to test it out, we can just open here a new let's put a new HTTP here. Let me type the HTTP localhost. No, let me put it this way, localhost and 3000 API posts, and we have here page equals to what's the page number? Right now actually I don't want to specify anything. I just want to see what's the return, to return anything, what it will return. And because I think from our side actually we finished. Yeah, so it's working. See, I got an empty because I didn't specify anything here, no, the page number or the okay, this is the answer, right? But I think let's say I put here page. To add any parameters, you use question mark here and you put page here, okay, and you put equals to, let's say, page 1, okay, and let me just page 1, and let's say I give it also, I want to give it a limit. I have to use end. You have to use end, then add limit here equals to 2, okay. So as soon as I do this, it's going to list the data here. You can see the data here, you see. So these are the data. This is my data, first row, and this is the second row, okay. Yeah, so, and the total, we have 5 rows. This is the total number of rows, not the total number of yeah. And we have the page here, yeah, and we have total pages 3. We have 3 pages here, right? So now if I change, so that's basically it. If I want to go to page 2, all I have to do is change the page parameter, the value. It's going to take me to another feed. See, this is something else. Benefit of exercise. This is the second page, page 2, and the total page 3 is still total equals to 5. So total is just, yeah, the number of rows, yeah. Yeah, so basically 2, 2, 4, so there are 5 rows total. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next page, it should be only 1. Let's see third page here. If I change parameter here, 3, see, I got yeah, this is the 5th page. So that's the idea of offset pagination, and that's it. We can understand this, and basically you just have to, in the front, in the UI, you just have to pass the URL. When fetching, you're going to get the data. So that's how pagination is created, offset pagination. So let's move on to cursor pagination. Okay. When we talk about cursor pagination, like mental model is give me the next item after this record. Okay, that's what we are saying. Give me the next item after this record. Okay, so no, but actually before cursor pagination, there are a few things that we need to talk about, the best practices of offset pagination we have to follow. So always use order by. This is mandatory. Okay, this one, order by, is mandatory. Okay, never skip order by. Without order by, pagination is unstable and unpredictable. Okay, and add index to sorting columns. Okay, add index to sorting. If you point it, yeah, to sorting columns. Large offset becomes painfully slow. Okay, so yeah, you can create index. You can make, if we are using created at, right? So we have to use index at. We have to make this one index. Add index to this column, this created at column. So to speed up the offset sorting. Okay, otherwise it will be painful. Set hard limit cap. Okay, see, const limit equals to math minimum requested limit, comma, 100. So it doesn't exceed 100. Okay, between max, it should be between 50 and 100 per page. Okay, the limit, the number of rows shouldn't be more than this, and you have to use this one. We didn't use it because we don't actually need two, because we have the small database, and also this is just for demo purpose, but we have to set a limit here for this one, so because the user can enter more than this one. And return metadata. Good API returns metadata like this. We already returned metadata like the total, the page, the limit. All this are useful. The total pages, all this stuff. When not to use offset, tables with millions of rows, frequently changing data set, infinite scroll and stuff. So now let's move on to cursor pagination. Okay, mental model, give me the next item after this record. Instead of page numbers, you use a pointer. Okay, in cursor pagination the case is different. In offset we used to use the page numbers. Right here you see page 1 of 2, and we have next here, you can go previous, and this is offset pagination. But in case of cursor pagination, the case is different. Okay, we have just we use a pointer, we call it cursor, like this. We define the limit. You know about the limit, we told you this is just how many rows to show. And cursor 20, this is just the position from where to start. Right, give me the next item after this record. That's what we are saying. Why it's better for scaling, to scale. Use indexed lookup where ID is greater than cursor, and performance stays fast even with millions of rows. Okay, let's say you have millions of rows, the performance will not be affected if you use cursor pagination. No duplicates or missing items when new records are added. When it's perfect for infinite scroll. Infinite scroll, you know, when you social feeds, notification, large dataset, frequently changing data. It means like when you open Facebook or Instagram, any Twitter post, whatever, you see when you go here, I think you need to be signed in to access it, but I want to try. It will let me in. I can show you what they mean actually. It doesn't have to be this one. Let me show you. So basically, Twitter here, it's using cursor pagination. It has to be, you know. So that's cursor pagination. Okay. Let me use it for public APIs. Use it for real-time data. Use for infinite scrolling. Don't use it if you need go to page 17. Let's say if you want to go to specific page, you have to use offset, because you can't use it this one. The only comparison that matters is if you need page number, use offset. If you need the large dataset, use cursor. If you have real-time feed, use cursor. Simple admin panel, use offset. Infinite scroll, use cursor. So right now what we need to do is try cursor pagination. Okay, I'll remove this. I'm going to use the same post, but this time I'm going to do it for cursor pagination. Export async function. I'm going to change this one. I'm going to call get here. Request.next request, and const search params equals to equals to rec dot rec dot next URL. Okay, so the same concept will apply here. Const page equals to, and const page equals to number, page no, search params dot get page, and yeah, so const limit. Actually, in this case, we don't need page actually here for cursor pagination. We don't need page. Okay, we need limit only, limit and cursor. That's it. Okay, search params dot get limit const cursor cursor search params dot get search params dot get. I'm just going to call cursor here and put it inside cursor if cursor exists. Okay, so what we will do next is that yeah, const now let me just go ahead and define const where. Okay, the same thing here. I'm going to say published equals to published equals to true. Okay, and okay, const const I'm just going to say posts here. Okay, equals to await prisma dot post dot find many. Let me just import this one. Go ahead and import this one. Add import find many. So basically we'll put where here, comma, and order by, comma, and create that, comma, and to be in descending order. Okay, so and then I'm just going to put skip here, comma. No, actually skip, I will put it down. So I'm just going to put order here, and then I'm going to take here, I'm going to put limit plus 1. Okay, the reason we use limit plus 1 is like for take is like to check if we have next page or no. That's it. Okay, this is just to check, to verify if we have next page or no, because we might not have, like we might be in the last page, right? Or no. That's the purpose of this take. Okay, and we have what else we have here? And no, yeah, that's it actually. We just need to go ahead and type this one. Okay, this is just spread operator. Okay, that what we are saying is basically, let me show you first. Let me do it, and I will explain to you why we're using this one. Cursor ID is equals to cursor. Okay, and here skip is equals to 1. So there is a reason for why we use this one, and yeah. I think comma here is important. So skip here also, comma is important. So what this means, this is just what we are saying is like only in case cursor exists, because cursor might not exist, right? We might not have cursor. So if it exists, if it's true, if cursor is true, like it has a value, that means put the ID to the cursor. Okay, skip 1. Okay, yeah, that's what it means. Okay, only if it is true. Okay, just remember this pattern. And then what we will do is like const has next is equals to we're going to take post dot length actually. Okay, if it is greater than the limit, if the posts dot length is greater than the limit, okay, then it has next. But if it is not, then it doesn't, basically. That's why we added the one, we increased the limit, right? So if here has next here, then once we confirm, then if it is true, just remove this one, pop, okay, and put it, if it is true, use pop here. Pop doesn't exist in type true. This issue actually shouldn't happen. Okay, I think. Oh no, sorry. It's actually from post you're supposed to take, not from has next. From posts. From posts you're supposed to remove the one additional field, the last one. Okay, this is we just added for testing, right? For the next page, and then we're going to put const next cursor. Okay, next cursor equals to. I'm going to put here has next. If it exists, then do posts dot posts dot length. Okay, -1 dot id, and yeah, we run this one, or else null. So what this means is like we're saying put the what we are saying is like if the length is -1, okay, and the post is put it as id, okay. Yeah, we just need the id, right? Put it the next cursor, put the id here. If it has next, put the id of the next cursor inside the cursor. If it doesn't, put none. That's it. So next, now we just return next response dot json, and we're just going to put it here. I'm going to return the posts, of course, and then I'm going to actually send the next cursor. We have to, and send the has next, the metadata. We have to write the metadata, and basically that's enough. I think we can go ahead and test this out here. We just need to remove the page here, remove everything. Just try now. Null. Great. Now so it's working. We are getting the metadata here. So let's say I pass here the limit, only the limit without anything. I say 2. Let me send this one. So let me see what is the limit at post. Not sure why this is happening actually. Post equals to this one. I put post here, next cursor has next minus null. Put the limit here. Cursor can be null. And what else we have here? Still I'm getting Yeah, I'm not getting anything. I think maybe there is an issue in the database. Let me check it. Let me check if it is connected, because usually the issue is from the database. No, seems fine here. Hosts, I saved this one and I put everything as per okay, 1 second. No need for this. What's this one? Save this one, and we added this one. We added the skip here one. So let me check. Nope, next nothing. Okay, maybe the parameters. I'm not sure why it's not returning properly. The JSON, I put post here, post.pop. Let me just make sure to check here console.log if we're even getting the data from the database. Let me just go to the console. It's empty. The reason for this is because what? Why is it empty? We're not. Okay, I think. 1 second. Let me check the schema. No, the table name is correct. Prisma is okay. Find many is okay also. So we have data surely in the database, but we are only getting empty. Where comma, and I put order by skip. So the limit plus 1. It's actually Maya. Let me see, why is that? Pop, post.pop. There is a reason. Oh, I think maybe this one. 1 second. No, but we have to specify the await to structure it. I think we have to. Yeah. No, I think we have to do this because next request and await Prisma find menu. So let me check the database because I think it's from the database because we're not getting anything here. Nothing. So that's unusual. Yeah. So I can also test here. No, just yeah. Might be from the database. Let me just stop this one because I'm getting empty array here. That means not getting anything. Let me check here and restart it. Okay, I think the issue is from where actually, but I removed this one. So it should have worked. I removed this one, or I didn't use it. I used it here, I think. So remove this one. I think this one is affecting the things here. So tasks. Also tasks, I think we don't need to put anything, just use the one in the post. Even use post, we don't really need it. So we just need this API. This is our API. Save this one and let's go ahead and check this one. Okay, but why does it have next cursor is null and okay, has next is false, but it has next. So let me add the limit here. Limit equals to 2. So let me see what's the issue for this API dot to return. I put return next response to JSON. I am actually sure that my code is correct. There must be another issue here. Let me double check here. Let me put back here. No, no need. This is not the one. Route. No, this is not the one as well. No. News post. Yeah, that's correct. Here, this is the one that I was using. This is as well correct. Skip one. Order by. This is what I used. As next. -1. I think there is some other issue on the. Yeah, there is some issue. Okay. Yeah, but our code seems to be correct here. Okay, because yeah, because it should work actually. Let me check here. Yeah. So I think our code should work. I think it's the await. Here we're not using await, so we remove that one. It will work. This one, no need to use await actually, because this is not a string function. So we can just remove this one and send it. Still it's not working, which is something that is very, yeah, but I will try to fix it, but you got the idea, because actually this is the code, and it will work by putting the cursor pagination. I will show you how it will work. It's supposed to work, so I've already done it here, so I can show you actually from a different post. Okay, news post here. Yeah, whenever I no, 1 second, news post here, actually save this one. News post. Okay, let me try limit equals to 2. Yeah, something's definitely wrong, because even this is not working, because this used to work before. And so let me pause just to see what's the. Okay, actually we didn't make any mistake. Okay, we just here we put true, published true, because we didn't, as I said in my previous when we were doing for offset, we didn't publish any post yet. We put all false, right? So we have to put false here, so it will work. So this is it. It's working now. Okay, I got here 2. Okay, data here, and this is the next cursor. So what we will do is, like, we will take this one. You see, has next true. That means there is a next page. So we will just take this one. Okay, show you how it's actually changing the next page. So if the user clicks next, all it's doing is, in the back end, is like this. It's click end cursor, okay, equals to this one, and click send. You see, wait for it. This is the new data. Benefit of exercise. This is the next page. Okay, so again, it has another page, next page here. You can do the same thing. That's what it's doing. It's taking the last value, the next cursor value here, the ID, and is putting it in the params, and then sending it. It will work. So that's how cursor pagination works. Okay, I hope it's clear, because the pros and cons, this is very important. And let's go through the best practices of cursor paginations. Use it when infinite scrolling. Infinite scrolling, just like Twitter, you can scroll infinitely, right? There is no page number and stuff. feeds, notification, large data sets, public API. Always use table ordering. If sorting by non-unique columns, like this one, and cursor must include both. You can add ID here. Okay. Use table ordering. Okay, you can use here order by created app, and you can add ID here. Okay, and encode cursor, never trust row ID. Yeah, just like I told you, a user can enter anything to the database. Okay, use const cursor, use this one, encode it. Don't use row ID. This prevents tampering, hides DB structure, looks professional. You can change it to base 64, the database values here, the cursor values. Okay, and return next cursor. Okay, always return next cursor like this one, just like I showed you here. If fewer than limit returned, next cursor equals to null. Okay, and always fetch one extra record. Okay, to detect if there is a next page, if 21 returned, send 20. Use 21 as the next cursor. Clean and efficient. Support forward and backward navigation advanced. For pro systems, we can have forward and backward, like this one. Okay. Yeah. And security best practices for both methods. Just validate all inputs. Yeah, this one is important. We didn't do it. Use Zod to validate the inputs. Like the limits must be a number, and cursor must decode safely. Offset must be greater than 0. Use Zod since you are mastering it. Yeah. Add rate limiting. Yeah, rate limiting is important. We'll talk about it later. Okay. We'll dedicate a video on it. Caching, I think I've already talked about it in my previous session. Add caching, this is important. And yeah, avoid select all. Only select needed fields. Reduce payload size. So offset is UI driven, cursor is data driven. Basically, if product theme says we need page number, we use offset. If they say we need infinite scroll like Instagram, we use cursor. So you need page number, offset. So that's the idea basically. Yeah. So for admin table, use offset. For feeds or comments, use cursor. For e-commerce, offset. And so that's the idea. Okay, that's what we need to understand. Thank you for watching. Yeah, there is one more topic we need to understand. We need to learn the theory and how it works. We'll understand the architecture of server-side filtering. Okay, server-side filtering is very important. We've talked about server-side pagination, which is also useful. Now we'll talk about server-side filtering. For big application, major application, we have to put we have to do server-side filtering. Okay, client filtering fails when dataset is greater than 500 rows. Okay, if it is less than 500 rows, you can manage client-side filtering, but if it's more than 500 rows, it will fail. So you have to use server-side filtering. You paginate, you have RBAC, you need accurate counts, you must enforce security. Filtering in client is cosmetic, filtering in server is authoritative. So, okay. So before I go to, so let's start with filtering here. Let me show you what's filtering, basically what we mean by when we talk about filtering. So first of all, I'm going to go to my application here, log in here. Okay, 3000. Just in case you're wondering, this is actually an application that I created. This is my application, and yeah, you can try here. Okay, I'm going to go to work order here. So when we say server-side filtering, we mean this one. Let's say here we have search, right? Let's say I want to search, let me click next here, plumbing issues or something. Let me just type here plumbing. See, it's coming, right? Plumbing issues here, right? So I'm searching, it's coming here, it's playing here. And what else we have? Filtering. I think it's not here. We want to check filtering. We can go to check filtering. We have to check material request allocation here. Yeah, here we have filter, right? You see this one? Yeah, this filter. I can check here. I want to see only in transit stores. This one. This is the only store that has in transit, right? I want to see only the material requests that I received from the main store. That's it, nothing else. So it will show me only from the main store, the material request I received from the main store. Search here. So that this is all. This is done actually on the back side, on the server side. Okay, this is what we call what we mean by server side filtering. So we have two types of filtering, server side filtering. We have URL based and non-URL filtering. Okay, so the difference is like this is non-URL. The one that I showed you just now is non-URL filtering, because whenever we change here, whatever we change the filters here, nothing is changing on the URL, right? Okay, the difference is on the URL filtering, it will change. It will be like here, you will type here search, it will be like this, equals to plant store or something, right? This is the URL based filtering. Okay, so it will look like this, URL based. It's useful for sharing, bookmarking, back button or something. For URL based filtering, let me show you another example. Again, this is one more flex card here. This is also another website that I created. I want to try it out. This is an e-commerce website. Okay, so this actually uses a URL based filtering. You can say here books. You see what happened here when I chose books? It created a category here. Category gave it an ID, because I'm not using here. Newest, prices, lowest. Yeah, you see here sort equals to price the underscore ascending. See, this is URL based filtering. So whatever you filter you change here, it will be reflected on the URL. This is URL based filtering. Even search, when I type here smartphone, see, Q equals to SMA. So anything I type here on search or filter or sort or whatever, it's going to be reflected on the URL. So the benefit is you can share this one. If I copy this one and share it to someone else, if they open it in a new page, they're going to see the same thing that I'm seeing. See, let me just refresh it. Yeah, it should work actually. This is the reason it's not working. There's some issue here, but they should see the same. Yeah, it should be reflected. Okay, that's the idea. So yeah, the URL based has one con, which is slightly more complex state sync. Okay, the pros, it's shareable, bookmarkable, back button works, SEO friendly, and server component friendly. Used for public SaaS, admin panels, and reporting system. Non-URL state based is like this. We're not using the URL, we're using the state, use state, right? So it's simpler, it's cleaner internal dashboard, no URL. This is this not shareable, no history state. Used when internal company tools, private dashboard or something. So that's the difference between URL based and non-URL based. The real architectural pattern here is, yeah. So basically, yeah. So there are common pattern here we can see between whether it's URL or local URL. Basically, this whatever we type on the URL or on the request body, okay, the server will read it using search params. Okay, I think we know about the search params by now from our previous what we tried, the pagination, and then it will query using the parameters. Okay, return the results. So the idea is, this is the production level implementation here. We have secure work for both parts. Okay, before going here, and there is one more concept we need to understand. It's debounce search. What's debounce search? This is debounce search. Let me show you here. You see this search? We have a search here, right? If you go ahead and inspect the network tab, if you type here test, okay, no results, right? Let me type T. Yeah, let me just type T E S T. See what it's doing? It's waiting for me, okay, to finish. Then only it's it's fetching. Okay, you can test this by going to the category here. No, go to the category here. Yeah, it's not searching immediately. It's waiting for me to finish typing. Okay, then search. Like without debounce, user type 6 characters, 6 database hits. Okay, multiply by 100 concurrent users, 10k daily traffic. You DDoS yourself. Debounce rate limiting at UI level. So this is why we need to debounce our application. We need debounce when our searches, okay, for this purpose, because if you don't debounce, it's not going to be we can use this application to test it. Let me type here plumbing. See, it's waiting for me. It's calling. Yeah, just one network request to check for this. Basically, that's what it does. Okay. Yeah. See, you see the time it's taking. P, it's waiting for me to finish. Plumbing. Yeah. So basically, that's what it's doing. It's wait for you to finish for some time, and then you will do. Then it will search. Okay. So we need to understand one pattern actually for both here. So this is a secure API, works for both patterns. Okay, whether it's URL, whether you're using URL based or filtering or non-URL based, it doesn't matter. So this API will going to work with both. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm using Zod schema, okay, just to check the queues for search, role, page, and limit. Okay, and then I'm going to extract from the request body. Okay, and then I'm going to use safe parse to validate, to make sure the input is validated. And then if it's not, I'm going to send invalid input. Then I'm going to destructure all those types, all those the items, and I'm going to put where here the filter if name contains Q, means basically search. Okay, modern sensitive is make sure that it's case sensitive, it's not so yeah, that's why it's there. So it's just checking if name or email is actually matching with the search, with the search value. Okay, and then and then it's just going to fetch using find many, and this we know about it from the so basically it's now validated, rate safe, limit protected. Debounce hook is this one. So this is how we debounce. You see here, use effect const timer equals to set timeout and set debounce value. this is the amount of time it will wait for you. This is the delay for 100 ms. It will wait for you this much time before making a network request to the database for fetching the data. So this is why we need to add debounce hook on our search. It's mandatory. Okay. Yeah, I'm just adding timer here. Set timeout. Set debounced. Okay, equals to value with the delay, and the value it can be, yeah, the value we can get it from outside, right? And return clear timeout. We're just cleaning if there is any timeout before that, and return bounce. That's it. So basically there are 4 layers of performance: UI, debounce, API, input validation, index, caching, and indexing. Indexing is important. We'll talk about it more. I think we already talked about it. Without indexing, search becomes table scan, which is slow. We have to index the key fields that we need to search, right? Name or something, we have to index. This is important. When data grows, scaling path. When data set hits 10k row, it's fine. 100k need index. Okay. 1 million row need full text search. 10 million row needs search engine like mail search or elastic search. Yeah, these things actually I'll try to cover some of these points. And offset pagination, current pattern we use is offset pagination. The problem is expensive on high page number, so the solution is cursor pagination. But for 80-20% of the app, offset is fine. Security angles and security, so role bypass, server filtering prevents role bypass, hidden data expression. Never trust filters from client without validation. Always use Zod schema to validate on the server side. So this is the difference. So now that we understand this, okay, yeah, just try to understand this pattern. Okay, at the end I'm going to try to do one application while showing you all combining all these things that we learned. Okay, but I don't want to do it now because it's pretty clear. I think we just have to add this one. Okay, same. We already went through all the other points before. For search, we just have to add this and add the bounce here for search and for server filtering, and it will work. Okay, hope you understood, and thank you for watching, and that's it.